We're declaring your Friday a first alert weather day for that possibility of freezing temperatures and frost. We're on your side with how long these cooler temperatures are sticking around and what you can expect as we head into Thanksgiving.
And with colder temperatures on the way, we're talking with an expert on how you can prepare your home for those chilly days.
Plus, not only are we preparing our homes, but our cars as well. We'll tell you the best practices to keep the drive smooth in the cooler weather, especially as you gear up to head out for the holidays.
Live on your side, First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
Well, right now it is 51 degrees here on Red Mountain. Tania joining us again. And Tania, what a windy day out
Oh my goodness, so windy. That wind advisory has expired now, but it's still breezy out there.
Yeah, we had a gust at 45 miles per hour. I mean, we're talking tropical storm force winds in Anniston earlier today.
Yeah, it's been super breezy, and that makes it feel colder too.
Yes, that's going to be a factor this evening. Not as windy tonight, but still kind of breezy out there. So bundle up. A cold night we have declared. First alert weather days. And sometimes when you see these first alert weather days, it doesn't necessarily mean the entire day, but when we see an impactful situation to you, and I know it's been a while since we've had this kind of cold, and want to make sure that you are well aware and informed for early tomorrow morning so you can prepare tonight, midnight to 8 o'clock in the morning. We're going to see some frost and freezing temperatures out there. Now, what you're looking at on the map, these are the advisories that were issued by the National Weather Service. So the National Weather Service in Huntsville did not issue a freeze warning for Coleman County, but I just want to point out, Coleman, you will have freezing temperatures. All of our friends all the way down to places like Brushy Pond and around Smith Lake and all across North Alabama. In fact, it would not surprise me to see a couple of flurries perhaps over far North Alabama tonight. The winds are still kind of breezy out there, kind of gusty, seeing winds around Demopolis and over towards Utah and Greensboro gusting over 20 miles per hour. But out the door tomorrow morning, you can see those freezing conditions there early in the day, around 32 at Coleman. So cold in the morning and then cold again early on Saturday. But I want to talk a little bit about this big change in temperatures that we had. Just looking at the setup here over the past couple of days, you know, we've been talking about those warmer conditions. I do want to talk to you here quickly about the, actually, I believe I have another, if we can come back to the weather pod here, I have a graphic. I just want to talk about this temperature.
And right now we are talking about the Fort.
And you can see right here, just looking at the setup, past couple days, we had 75 there on Monday, and you can see by Friday morning down to 35 degrees. So a big drop in those temperatures over the past, and there's Tania, so over the past 24 hours. So I know we're kind of all over the place here, but right now, though, we are going to be talking more about remembering those 4 Ps and protecting the people, the pets, the pipes, and the plants, as we always say. But we want to take you right now. What we're doing, we're checking in with Lauren out at the Birmingham Zoo. Tell us what's happening, Lauren.
Hey Wes, I am out here at Glow Wild at the Birmingham Zoo. I'm joined with my friend Scarlett here, and she made sure to bring Pooh along, but we got to tell y'all, there aren't seatbelts in the train, so she's holding on to Pooh for dear life. But we're here at Glow Wild for the media preview night. This is a great Birmingham tradition, the 4th year that it's going on. If you want to come here and see the holiday lights at the zoo, it's going to be Wednesday through Friday all the way, or Wednesday through Sunday all the way through MLK Day. Now the ticket prices vary, so you got to go online to the website and figure out what works best for you. But it is so beautiful. I will say, I was walking around and they said most of the animals aren't going to be out tonight, but I got to get a little sneak peek of the lion, Josh, hanging out. He's like, oh, here come these people again, enjoying their Christmas lights. But it is an absolutely gorgeous sight, and it's open from 5 to 9 Wednesday through Sunday. The thing is, though, you got to get here before 8 o'clock because the gates will close at 8. But there are lots of great photo opportunities. I know Tania and I love a good Instagram post, so lots of good Insta spots here that we could be watching. But we're on the train ride that is one of the cool attractions that you can see to go around the park. And I was getting worried for a second that we were about to pull right up at the station, because even though this is just a zoo train, it's kind of booking it. It's going pretty quickly. But the cool thing about this ride is that you can get a great preview of the lights around the area. We were in the heart of the zoo earlier, but you can see now we're coming up on the actual station. So it's been about maybe a 10-minute ride. So when you go on and find the ticket prices for Glow Wild, it will show if you want to also include a train ride. But I mean, I'm sitting here running my mouth. What I've been doing most of the time is drinking the complimentary hot chocolate they had. And yes, I did put a lot of marshmallows in it, an obscene amount. That's the best way to enjoy it. So just a great excuse to get into the Christmas spirit. Now, if you're wanting to do Glow Wild, it is going to be closed on Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas. And do remember that the zoo has switched over to their winter hours. So got all the information on the website. But you know, on Weather Extra, we always love an excuse to come out and check on our animal friends. And let me tell y'all, the lights are looking fabulous. This video, this train ride doesn't do it justice. But y'all enjoy the rest of Weather Extra. Tania and Wes, hate to break it to you, but I'm going to keep enjoying my hot chocolate with the marshmallows.
Hey, we're not letting you off the hook. You better send us some marshmallows here to the studio, and a hot chocolate. I'll take it all, Lauren. But as we are not the only ones preparing to see colder temperatures as we head into the weekend, those of you gearing up to travel for the holidays could also run into some cold, wintry weather. So if you plan on driving, you may want to make sure that your car is ready for the cold. Your Brady Talbert has more on how cold snaps affect cars and what you can do to protect your vehicle.
Those battery problems never happen at a good time or a good place.
Clay Ingram with AAA Alabama says your car is much like you. It does not enjoy the extreme temperatures. Most car batteries only last about 3 years, and the frigid air can shorten its lifespan even more. If you have had your battery for a couple years, he recommends you get it checked before it's too late and your car won't crank.
They've got some great battery testers out there now that can tell you sort of the general health of your battery. So you know that if it's, it can tell you if it's, in pretty good shape or in terrible shape and about to go out on you or somewhere in between. And that way you can make an informed, educated decision about when and where to replace that battery.
We're all guilty of sometimes ignoring the warning lights on our dashboard, but it could eventually cost you. The cold weather is going to make your tire pressure drop. If your tires need to be 34 psi and your gauge shows 32, you will likely be okay. But if you get below 30 psi for most cars, AAA says you really need to address it.
Having underinflated tires can make you more prone, more likely to have a blowout or a flat of some kind. It wears your tires out a lot faster. And it also affects your gas mileage. You lose 2% of your fuel efficiency for every pound of pressure a tire is underinflated.
Again, previewing that weekend forecast. Looks like we're going to have nice sunshine coming up for the weekend. Not as windy, finally. So Saturday, if you're looking for a good yard day, maybe clean up some of those limbs and leaves. It's been so windy out there. Looks like a northwest breeze at 58 degrees. And Sunday, a little bit warmer. Even though it's going to be cold, we'll probably see some more frost again, by the way, Sunday morning. Afternoon highs, though, back into the mid-60s. But if you're trying to save some money and stay warm during this cold snap, odds are you are pulling out that space heater. And while they come in handy, well, they are dangerous if not used properly. The Red Cross says home heating is one of the leading causes of home fires in the country, and many of those fires are because of space heaters or other types of heating equipment. They say to check the cord of your space heater, make sure it's not frayed, and also never plug into an extension cord because there is a lot of wattage that is involved. Instead, put your heater near an outlet, but don't leave it there unattended.
Do not leave it on when you go to sleep. Make sure that you turn it off and that it is on a level, hard surface that's not close to anything that's flammable. That could be curtains, that could be rugs, carpets, sofas, anything that could be a flammable upholstery. You want to make sure that you keep it at least 3 feet away.
Also, keep kids and pets away from the devices. If you plan to buy a space heater, Red Cross recommends a unit that will automatically turn off if knocked over.
Well, thanks for that, Wes. It's also a great time to start thinking of ways to properly winterize your home. Meteorologist Megan Thomas spoke with an home insurance expert from Hippo to tell us more about the best practices to keep your home as safe as possible.
All right, for Weather Extra today, we are talking to Courtney Klosterman, and she is from Hippo Insurance, and we are looking at winterizing your home. The next couple of mornings are going to be so chilly around here. Some of you could be nearing freezing as we gear up for the weekend. I thought it was important to kind of talk about what we can do to, one, save on the power bill, Courtney, and also if there's anything else that we need to be looking into to make sure our home is prepped for the winter. So thank you for joining me on Weather Extra.
Thanks so much for having me, Megan. Great to be here.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's dive right in and to explain to people what's the best way to maybe winterize their home.
Well, with cooling weather and rain in the forecast, as you mentioned, it is a great time to start winterizing your home. Winter weather can cause unexpected damage, and it's important to prepare early to help avoid those unexpected home repairs. So as you're building your winter home maintenance checklist, there are a few items to make sure that you do not overlook. And that starts with inspecting your roof. Your roof is really protecting the structural integrity of your home. And it's important to think about as winter weather and rain starts to come into the forecast to help prevent any potential issues with water damage that can come through the roof line. So look for damaged or missing shingles along your roof line, and remove any debris or other types of leaves that could accumulate in your roof to make sure that you're avoiding damage. So if you haven't had your roof professionally inspected in the last couple of years, consider bringing someone out to make sure that you can do that before winter weather really comes into the forecast. In addition to the roof itself, think about the gutters and downspouts around your home. Clogged gutters and downspouts can prevent water from draining away from your roof. And that can again cause water damage, which is one of the most common home insurance claims that many people across the country experience. So that starts with just removing any leaves or debris that could be impeding drainage in your gutter lines and positioning downspouts away from your foundation to protect your foundation from excess water. And if you live in an area with a lot of trees and foliage, think about installing gutter guards to minimize debris in your drains.
Well, still ahead, we continue to talk about tomorrow's first alert weather day, but we're also going to tell you about the best ways to keep your skin healthy during these colder months. We'll be right back.
And welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. Right now, tower cam view, we have 51 degrees in Birmingham and the wind finally lessening up out there. We're going to have overnight lows tonight, taking a big tumble down to near freezing. That's why we've called First Alert Weather Day briefly for tomorrow morning, but crank up that heat tonight. You can see those lows right around freezing. And in the morning, after that frosty start, it's going to stay chilly during the day. Look at this, by 1 o'clock, still seeing a lot of 40s on the map. So even with sunshine tomorrow, a chilly Friday, but hey, we're going to be smiling, right? It's Friday. Heading into the weekend, we got some nice weather conditions, and actually the wind speed tomorrow still at about 5 to 15 during the afternoon. Northwesterly wind there for tomorrow. Let's talk about the weekend. Looks dry, but I want to take it on out into next week. We got the date here. There's Saturday. You can see we've got a dry weekend coming up here on Saturday. This is the American model. Some of the long-range data that is showing by Tuesday morning. We're seeing a lot of model agreement that we could see some showers, some wet weather there early on Tuesday. And then let's take it into the Thanksgiving holiday, November the 28th. This is showing 6 o'clock in the morning. So the American model wants to bring this wet weather in for the first part of the day on Thanksgiving. And then it shows dry weather right on through Iron Bowl Saturday. But there is the long range data showing what may be another Clipper system. It may try to drop in from the north, maybe generate a couple showers, perhaps into late Sunday and into Monday of next week. But that's what we're seeing as far as the American model. Let me show you a comparison. This is another a global model here. This is the European model, and again, you can see some agreement. There's Tuesday morning showing that chance for some wet weather, but watch the difference here as we go into the Thanksgiving holiday. This is showing 7 p.m. We have one model showing 6 a.m. This is showing arrival time around 7 o'clock in the evening. So you can see right now why I mentioned during the day. There's a lot of questions in there with respect to exactly when this could start. I would just plan for the possibility of impacts, and hopefully these models really start to lock in on more of a set time. A lot of the ensembles also favor this later time as well. So we might actually see during the day the chance at that wet weather as we go beyond the 7-day. We get out there close to Thanksgiving. We have a 60% chance of rain there now for the Thanksgiving holiday. 64 degrees. Notice where the temperature drops a little bit. That rain, if we see any on Friday, most likely early morning, and then we'll have some improvements. But you'll have to watch it if you're catching some of those early morning sails on Friday. Keeping Iron Bowl Saturday dry for right now, as we know that is one game where we have had some wild weather, but right now showing around 51 for Saturday there of Iron Bowl weekend, and some increasing clouds in that forecast for that following Sunday. But meteorologist Tania Michelle joining us right now. Again, Tania, to talk about the travel forecast. I know a lot of folks traveling starting this weekend, maybe catching some flights. We have a cool little map here that shows where we could see some of those weather-related air travel impacts, perhaps.
Absolutely. So we want to give all of you the first alert and maybe just that heads up so you can better plan and kind of be prepared whether or not you may run into a travel delay. So as we look across the U.S., not too bad actually, but this is Saturday evening around 5 p.m. Most airports look like they'll be in pretty good shape. We're seeing some travel delays across the Northeast, stretching from parts of Virginia all the way up to parts of Massachusetts and Maine area. A few areas, splotchy areas to the west, Pacific Northwest, up towards Boise, Idaho, and parts of Montana down to Nevada, and parts of California as well that are seeing some minor flight delays. And these are possible delays that you can expect. So just want to keep that in mind. But not too bad, really. No major delays are expected as we approach later into the week. So that's some good news. But if we could just click forward here on this graphic, we are still seeing the possibility for travel delays, maybe even on Sunday as well. So we're going to fast forward this graphic and you'll be able to see here by Sunday evening, it looks like there's actually some more improvements as far as travel delays. We're seeing a few areas picking up some minor delays over towards Texas, and then moving forward past Sunday, Monday, look at that. So if you're planning on traveling this weekend or early next week, we're pretty much giving you the green light overall as far as travel delays that you can expect heading into your Thanksgiving travel plans. But as we continue to talk about the colder weather, meteorologist Lauren Linehan spoke with a dermatologist about how you can care for your feet when the weather gets cooler and drier.
Well, we know this fall has been abnormally warm here in Alabama, but we are finally getting a cold front to come through, so we're switching up to that winter wardrobe. And hey, this may be the time of the year that you're putting on those fuzzy socks. But no matter what time of the year it is, we always have to take care of our feet, especially when our feet may get a little hot in those socks. I'm joined now by Dr. Neil Sadik. He is a dermatologist to talk to us here more about fall foot care. Dr. Sadik, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
So tell us, as we go into the fall and winter months, why are healthy feet so important?
Well, healthy feet are always important, but during the acute dryness of the winter or the moisture of the summer, they're particularly important. In the winter, when there is less hydration of the skin or less water content, the skin can become dry and fissured and cracked. That can lead to secondary infection by organisms such as fungi, which can lead to fungal infection to the feet or of the nail plate, what's called onychomycosis or fungal infection of the nail plate. So that's why there's a higher incidence of those infections, both fungal and bacterial, that can occur during the dryness of the winter months.
And so we're talking about how moisture, that lack of available moisture in the atmosphere, lower humidity can lead to that drier weather, which can lead to foot issues. But how about specifically the colder air? How does that affect foot health?
Well, cold air will actually remove water from the skin surface, okay? And that again can lead to increased eczema or a worsening of psoriasis or entrance of organisms again, such as fungi or bacteria into the skin in those areas. So one really important tip in the winter, in addition to using a moisturizer after you shower each night or day to keep the skin hydrated, it also is very helpful to exfoliate a couple times a week to get rid of the dead skin that creates a good, again, skin barrier so that these organisms cannot enter, leading to secondary infection.
Well, I see some products on that screen there that I use daily, so I must be in the right direction. Well, don't go anywhere, though. We'll be right back with your final check on the weather and a look at some of your lovely weather photos. We'll be right back.
And a lovely sunrise photo from Sandra Martin. How about those weather photos from the First Alert Weather app, Tania? We love those.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. I love it. It kind of gives you a cotton candy, but also some yellow. This one looks more like a cotton candy sky.
Yeah, now who's this?
We
is
know
from,
who this is.
Yeah, Mitchell Keys, our former intern, actually sending this in from Starkville, Mississippi. Cotton candy
it makes
sky.
the campus look so pretty. I miss it. Ryan Carty, sunset in Birmingport.
And Lynn Burrell, always sharing some lovely sunset views. And this was a view over in East
Ooh,
Alabama.
I
Lynn's
like
in
the
the Oxford
reflection.
area. We always get a lot of photos from that part of the state as well. But beautiful weather. You know, we had a lot of rain, much needed rainfall, some nice improvements in that drought monitor. But I tell you what, the way this pattern's setting up next week, you know, we have a chance of rain Tuesday morning. Could have a decent rainmaker coming in, unfortunately, for Thanksgiving. But, you know, it gives you time to kind of sleep off some of that extra turkey, right? And then
That's true.
Friday, perhaps some rain, but hopefully that'll help out.
Absolutely. Well, keep in mind we have some cold temperatures, not just tomorrow morning, but again as we head into the weekend. So make sure you bring out the sweaters, the jackets, bring those pets in tonight. Please don't leave our fur friends outside and cover those sensitive plants.
Yeah, and you know there's going to be more additional
this.
mornings like this.
Oh,
so go
yeah,
ahead
this
and
is not
winterize.
it.
It's time. It's
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So we'll talk more about the cold tonight. It's a First Alert Weather Day tomorrow morning, again early on Saturday. Just how cold, we'll have some updated temperatures for you tonight. So check in with us for more on the news first at 9.